Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LEC Spring 2025.
Everything up in the air. Fnatic currently 4-2, G2 3-2. Teams haven't played the same amount of series. We'll see who comes out on top. But Razork setting up for a first gank here. Mickey Q flash forward, looking to lock up LeBron. 1-2, stacks 3 and 4. That's the Q flash we were talking about. Champ select LeBron gonna get taken out here. One tower shot comes through. Razork stunned up. Good damage back. Nice response from Hansama. Can they pursue another kill? The dive won't be there for the side of Fnatic. Upset walking away, an intense. Fnatic have they overstayed their welcome. No information on where Skewmond is. Bit of poke onto Upset. They need to get the hell out. LeBron hungry for a play. Nice little knockback. Mickey looking for the lockup. He's not even able to get to the back powder of the wall. A flash over. He's stunned again. Dashes back to Upset. Still living for an extra moment. Skewmond Q flash forward. Upset push back as well. And Fnatic's bottom lane. The initial play so good. It turns into a 1-for-1. And now punt.
You do need to TP down here as Broken Blade, but there's a lot of members of Fnatic now on the way.
Double TP. Full committal. Broken Blade, you came to the wrong part of town, buddy. The question is, can he live this? 4 stacks, stunned, knocked back there, punted into the wall. All out is Oscar in it. He can't cancel that one anymore. They're walking away, and the tower's gonna finish the job. BB still manages to get one. In the meantime, Caps focusing down the mid lane tower. Fnatic just over-forcing.
How do you get a kill back in a 1v4? That should have been an easy shutdown for Fnatic, and it looked like Broken Blade was just gonna be bopped all over the place, but instead, they managed to get a kill. They're getting the plates mid, they're getting the waves top. Like, this is a pretty sizable pickup for Broken Blade and what should have been a disastrous moment for him.
And this is just the name of the game for G2. Fnatic, the ones consistently making these aggressive plays, trying to find the angle level 6 to level 6. LeBron here as well, Caps off to the side. They're in trouble now. Oscar has found the flank, but he doesn't have the ulti, trying to chase down Hansama. 1 and now 2 taken down. Mickey running, burning, ticking. Caps grabbing that one. Hans getting a kill as well. It just looks effortless. Again, Fnatic fumbled the first few plays. This is very bad. This is bad for normal reasons, and it's also bad because you're playing against a comp with so much poke, with so much reach. You do not want to give them first setup. We know what Maokai looks like when he gets to ult, when you have to walk into him, and he looks broken as Oscarinin finding out first ban that there's not really a good way out of this one.
He doesn't have flash.
Nope, he's dead. Ooh, the minions extending that range. The footwork keeping him safe. Flash, Q, into the E, and auto to finish the job.
Yeah, this is not working. Like, look for the Weaver's Wall to separate G2, and maybe you can isolate someone to finish them off, but it's still going to be very difficult, especially as you see G2 are just constantly shifting around the map, now moving towards topside to punish Oscarinin again. His flash just about to come up, but Broken Blade being visited on the bottom side at the same point.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Third play on the bottom side for Fnatic. Oscar, still Cassante. Could be very squishy when he goes all out. Pathmaker going to be the big cooldown. Waiting for a long time. He's going to get deleted before he can even use it. He just dies. Am I missing something? Does the W key not work?
Well, the name of the top it, unfortunately, which means that then the all out doesn't come through. Broken Blade now moving to the mid lane as well. He's going to be able to cover this. A completely abandoned spot side, so there's no hope of a trade for Fnatic. And it'll be the first tower going over to G2.
And this is an incredibly dominant performance. The good news is Humanoid is getting something back, but what I thought coming into the day, what we heard from the desk is probably going to be a Fnatic favored matchup, is an absolute slaughter in favor of G2 thus far. They hit double feats. They're going to have the boots empowered. Almost a 4K gold lead, picking up the next spawn of grubs. Despite not having the best control of lanes, will at least get one taken away to get the might spawn.
Still though, I mean, if G2 can get 5 of them here, they're going to be pretty happy with that, especially as we said, like, their split push is kind of obscene with Jackson Chase, so I don't really know how you're going to try and answer for this in a lot of situations as Fnatic. Yes, you've got...
And in the jungle, but topside, Oscarinin just working with bits and pieces. Upset still doesn't even have that Trinity Force. G2 going to grab their first Drake of the game. Humanoid trying to make a play. Weaver's wall down. Hansama isolated. We'll get the ulti off. Flashing off to the side, and now it's Humanoid in trouble. Patience on the flash. Key from Hansama. Stepping up. The Dragon will fall. Just the 1 kill, but again, what is the opposite of King Midas? What is the opposite of whatever you touch turns to gold, Rob? Every play Fnatic have started, has put them further behind.
Yeah, it is. Look, I respect it from Humanoid because that was kind of what we're saying. Like, Fnatic kind of need to make some sort of play like that.
Right. Flash response, cleanse as well. Upset trying to get out. Flash. That's a lot of flashes. They're trying to save the day. Upset running, getting away, but he's going to burn down in the end. Razork now needs to get the hell out as well because there's a TP on the way in. But Labrov, Skumon going to back away.
Yeah, it's still not going well for Fnatic. Yeah. Upset getting caught there. Again, it's just G2 so quickly, immediately jumping on mid lane. And then Upset pushing up, thinking G2 would have shifted off into different directions of the map, but everyone on G2 going from there.
And meanwhile, in the picture-in-picture, you can see Oscar Rennet going all out versus Broken Blade, and Broken Blade more than happy to just walk away. Q3 ready to go. Mickey on the chase, flashing out. Just another quick hop away from Broken Blade. A few more seconds. Doesn't quite have a trinket, but he just won't, which is crazy. Approaching your third item before you even stack the tier is a sight we infrequently see. And look, normally in this game, like, gold can be misleading, right? A lot of times it's really just about item completions, more often than not, and control on the map. But Fnatic are very far behind in terms of item completions. So even though you could maybe argue a little bit of difference here and there, hey, mid lane's
what if
not
we
too
dive
bad.
Broken Blade for the third time?
The first you don't succeed, try again. Hansama one-shots Razork before the fight even starts. Acme early game, striking again. Not a threat at all! They're hitting the tower in his face! And there's nothing he can do!
Yeah, he's kind of getting hit on the splashback as well, because that is, like, his health bar is just immediately gone. Iceborne Gauntlet is nothing against the amount of damage that G2 have right now. There's the Rip Tower we were talking about. I think it was more of like a celebration.
Not a start of a comeback, it's the beginning of an idea of a comeback.
But the thing is, you have to steal it and win the ensuing fight so you can get the flowers. It's kind of the change with Adakon is that, like, just stealing it never really feels
but here's the play. Humanoid trying to kick things off. Stopping the dashes, lockup is there. Mickey X blocking as much as he can. Oscar Rennet coming in, trying to peel, but Caps and Broken Blade are off to the side. Eyes on the counter-strike, flash in, 3-man from Broken Blade. Lockup from Razork is there, but they just don't have the damage at this point in the game. G2 simply too far ahead. 2-man flick going in, Upset, good damage from the ulti. All members of Fnatic standing, but with blinking health bars. G2 still in control of the river, setting their sight.
Just barely be out of reach, but they will still go down for the Adakon.
Take their time with it. You know, Humanoid's going to hurt a bit, but he hasn't been in range, and if he burns his combo on you, I think you win the fight.
Well, we've seen a lot, like even...
Humanoid again, looking for the angle. Labrov walking in menacingly. No real follow from G2. Labrov likely to fall here. Unbreakable fading away now. Follow up there. Pick back. Nice little something to give some hope to the side of Fnatic, but it is still it seems to be the name of the game, despite the gold lead that they have. I think you're right. They could go for more aggressive plays. They see the Unbreakable gone. Maybe that's a cue for them to go in, but respect to Humanoid's potential damage as he once again looks to set up a wall. That's the engage, kicking things off. Razork manages to find his target, but it's only the Ezreal ult to follow. Now the Vi deleted. The Maokai ult beautifully splits up the fight. All of Fnatic taken out. 3 members retreating now. Mid-jungle gone, and again, Fnatic try to find the proactive play, but G2 more than happy to just punish.
And G2 now moving over.
That bread is covered in butter.
They have some extra in the fridge as well. They've got some for the popcorn. It's everywhere.
There's so much butter. And even Upset, struggling to do much in these fights. You can see he's playing Vampire Survivors. He needs his own little bullet hell, just trying to dodge all the random projectiles going at him while also dealing damage. G2, I mean, good discipline. Good punishes in the early game. I think draft overall feels so much simpler to execute, but they did such a great job just punishing Fnatic on all 3 or 4 of those early plays and then making just better plays of their own.
Yeah, I think it's the, as you say, the rotations from G2, which has kind of been, for me, the most impressive part of their game.
Razork started the fight. Hansama finds an initial bit of lockdown. Double knock up onto Hans. Maybe finally they can get that kill in the midst of the fight. The shutdown is there. Hans taking the equation. Caps completely untouched on the side, and now it's Mickey who will fall. Oscar in it. Q3 ready to go. Manages to clip Caps. Maybe enough damage as he finally goes all out, dashing through Caps. Ready to go back in. Q3 gonna go, but the something just doesn't have the damage. Broken Blade still standing. Flashes forward, but will not get the stun. Humanoid retreating. Fnatic. Not a great fight, but they're not out of it yet.
You're going to have the TP coming back in from both solo laners on G2, though. Caps moving down to the Tribush on the bottom side. G2 looks like they want to try and commit for more here.
Zoned away by the TP of Caps, or Broken Blade, excuse me. Looking for the flick and will not find it. That'll be Soul to the side of G2. Finally, we see what Fnatic were looking for there. Combo, layered.
Sending Humanoid away from Caps as he was that low.
Also ults him out of the flick back from Humanoid. And if he just had another half an item, if he wasn't quite so far behind, probably would have been able to finish that kill onto Caps. The Cassante burst damage and all out is still incredible. Wall used to clear at least this way, but the tower still falls. G2 continuing to walk up. And again, I think the threat of 2 towers is really the gotten back. Just feel meaningless in the face of the lead that G2 have amassed. Razork on the flank. But I think every single member on this lineup just too powerful. The fight will start anyway. Broken Blade zoning off. Now looks like he might just get locked up. Tower down. Humanoid coming in off to the side, but they just instantly turn their attention back. Caps good damage. LeBron there as well. Finds the stun. Flick back. Razork now down. Hound Samba still standing. All the health bars remaining on the side of Fnatic are blinking, and they're about to be deleted. Oscarinen goes all out, but he's all out of options. He's all out of base. He's all out of teammates. And G2 gonna make quick work of this game 1.
32 minutes, but it was a domination from minute 2 for G2 as they look towards taking the Nexus turrets.
It was a slaughter. Fnatic thought they had some angles on some early plays. They fumbled it. And at that moment, G2 never gave them away back into the game. Dominance from G2 in game 1. Even as they take their time on the fountain time from Fnatic here.
They are 5 squishy champions with a ton of burst, but with no front line and very, very little CC.
And 1 game away from having...
As upsetting Razork is not going to be a good time against Broken Blade is about to take over the 6 and Skewmont. So in this position, even if G2 aren't winning out massively in the play, they're still winning because they're nullifying what Razork did.
Crashdown Heal came out there for extra movement speed. I think they have kill pressure on Han Sama. Barrier forced. Oscarinen already used the mist though, and he might just get cut down. First blood. Easy pickup. Mickey now running. There's nowhere he can go. He can flash. Sends back the bars, but Hans flashes over it. Quick double kill. And I don't think we're getting to game 3, folks. It's falling apart fast.
Razork tower, but it means that G2 gets the Dragon. So 2 big objectives in the early stages already going to G2, even if they're not getting this massive gold lead like we saw in the last game.
I think one thing that will be different in this game, however, is that even if G2 get a lead, they won't quietly win. They got a lot of dive threat. It's going to be very explosive as Oscar tries to find the all-in, forces the flash out of Broken Blade. 1 more skip and slash. Not going to come out. But we do see that as time goes on, Oscar will be a bigger and bigger threat. Oh, I feel in my bones he's going to go for a dive.
Yeah, I don't know if you have the damage.
I don't think he should, but I feel it in my bones.
Because taunt as well, giving you magic resist. Ooh, okay, that's
he's fancy with it. Split fight, meanwhile, bottom side, Razor calling out the extra dogs. Baha Men reporting. That's the kill! I felt it in my bones! I didn't think it was going to work, but apparently it will. Now Caps is moving in. But Gwen, what's the timer remaining on the mist? Flash forward from Caps. Grasping, has the mist, walks away. These are the kind of plays that Fnatic need. Upset with the 4 shot, though, has now been pulled back. Xumon ready to get things kicked off. That's the ulti going in for Razork. Intangible for a brief moment as he manages to step backwards. Xin Zhao out fading. 4 shot there for Upset. Big damage onto Skewmon. Humanoid from behind. They surely stick around for this one. Razork ready.
Curtain calls ready.
Dashing forward. 1 finding the bleed. 2nd dagger connecting. Lebrov in trouble. Razork getting the kill. Upset not going to get anything but 2 over to the dog in the jungle.
And you can hear the crowd. Fnatic.
Stop 6 rubs from going over as Oscar needs to be careful here. Not expecting the cheese. Does drop the ward though. Respects it anyway. Now turning back with the ulti. Oscar decent damage. LeBron now in trouble. TP on the way in. Skewmont here as well. That's the mist taken out. Mickey running forward. Be able to get anything. That's the ult to flash forward. Manages to lock him too. Humanoid on the way and he's going to slide his way in. Doesn't even need the ulti. Rest of the team watching them go down, but there it is. Shuffled out, but caught under tower. But still, he'll manage to live. Fnatic on the top side, dominating. And now the dogs all out of the bottom, chasing down a juicy looking chicken, but he's going to fly to safety. No chickens can do that.
It's G2 trying to make the play. Oscarinen spots it out. But immediately, it's all hands on deck. Moving from mid lane to make sure you can get into position to cover for this. And now Mickey with the extra speed, Pop Blossom flashes in.
Another fight in the picture-in-picture, but important context there. You can see in the minimap, Galio Justice Punch maybe a 1/10 of a second away from canceling Humanoid's TP. Just the slightest of margin allowing that fight to come through. Broken Blade backing away. Humanoid off to the side. Blade who will TP out, knowing that he does not win that particular fight, but also knowing that Humanoid just burned his one and only piece of hard CC, his only tool to interrupt that TP. Herald now using the bottom side. Pace of the game accelerating pretty rapidly. Fnatic, yes, they did not get the kill on the top side, but they're pushing in that wave, and they might be able to force that tower down, but Fnatic are still so far ahead.
That's why I like the play from Fnatic. Like, oh, actually, TP now top side. That might have been a mistake, Oscar did.
Oscar uses the miss. This time he's not quite so fortunate. He doesn't have a TP. Upset is on the way in. Mickey's here as well, but that tower is already gone.
Yet you were already winning on the map as Fnatic. You were taking the tier 2 for the tier 1. Fantastic. And then you can overload mid because you've taken the tier 2 quicker on the bottom side and look for the tier 1 in
What
mid.
I'm trying to say is that was questionable from Oscar. He has to chill, take a deep breath, because G2 happy to have that access back into the game. Right now that gold lead starting to shrink a bit as G2 one tower after another, and they're trading across the map. Maybe Fnatic can respond with a fight here, but Humanoid just continues to be a demon in the side lanes. No one is going to match him. G2 setup on Drake seems to be what they're prioritizing here.
Covering mid as well with Hansama and Skumon, so they won't lose the tower immediately as Caps will need to reset. Can teleport back out onto the fight, but Fnatic on Dragon, look, they'll be able to secure it after they were able to cover G2's attack on the top side.
Mickey. Cheating now. Clone giving him the vision. Still the Drake to the side of Fnatic. Cloud Soul certainly powerful on a comp with as much mobility as LeBron.
And that's what I mean. This is kind of the changes that we've seen in Fnatic, whereas usually what you'd see around this time is, hey, we're going to push mid and overload one side of the map for Humanoid. But now they're just like, okay, cool, let's use the waves to our advantage. We're pushing on bot side, then we can hover Oscar in and out of vision, and now we set up for a play on mid where G2 can't really contest the wave until we know where Oscar is. But Oscar's now moving to mid to support Fnatic on this play.
Krug does spot the Hex Splash, stops Lebrov in his tracks. Teleport, excuse me, not teleport, tower set up mid lane from the Sun Disc, the Severing Bolt comes down. I mean, G2 are just getting...
The biggest issue for G2 is they don't have a way to contest sides. Oscar is just too big at the moment, and even when you look at Humanoid as well, like level 15, halfway to level 16, you can't send someone solo to deal with him, and that's where we're talking about this like trio of Lebrov, Hansama, and Skumon. But now they're going to spot the Fnatic have just taken Otacon.
But they can spot. Ooh, they see Skumon, know he's too far away. That Voracious Otacon picked up. Oscar versus Caps. Massive slow onto Oscar in it. Skumon now trying to follow. Oscar trying to heal as much as he can, but Caps has been rooted in the meantime. And in goes the dog. Caps, quick fear and try to survive. But Razork is ready to follow up. Everything they can do from LeBron, everything coming out, but it's just not enough to stop the pick. The reset's going in. Broken Blade finally here, but it might not matter because Mickey, the perfect follow through, the 3-man. And all of Fnatic watches G2 fall to pieces. The triple for upset. Looking to make it a quadra, but Broken Blade manages to walk away.
Fnatic were mauled by the dog until they went up. Fnatic find everyone there. And now they will march towards this inhibitor.
No hair of the dog to save this one. Fnatic probably break open the base here as well. Start to play are so split that they can't find their footing.
It's also the intargetability on Razork means he's able to play deep, but doesn't get caught out now.
First shot going in. Taunt still channeled, interrupting Razork for a brief moment, but now Broken Blade needs to get the hell out. Skumon already dead. Reset on the ulti is there. Razork not going to risk it this time around. Knows that Baron is his prize, rightfully earned. Fnatic 10k up, 26 minutes. Might not be able to make up for game one, but they can try to outpace G2 in their win at the very least.
Well, trying to see if they can get on towards Caps here. Does end up just skirting away from that one. Dragon is available. Oscar in him.
Rob, nice initial engage. Oscar in and caught out by Hansama. Hansama starting to hurt, but Mickey once again managing to find the 3-man. Goes golden, courtesy of the Seekers. In the blink of an eye, Hansama gone. Now Caps on his lonesome. Broken Blade cannot peel as he just tries to Justice Punch himself back. Fnatic just keep running them down. Razork intangible, dashes over the wall, makes it look easy. The dog's now moving in. Black Cleaver fully stacked. Caps, the only person in despair here right now is him. Razork set to finish the kill, but forced backwards. The grasping maw, the passive, but no. goes untargetable, and Fnatic upset dominating, Fnatic dominating. Looks like they'll just close it out here.
I was gonna say it's over. Fnatic, they just find pick after pick. Hansama performed a magic trick, and it's his Nexus that disappears.
And here we go, game 3. Wouldn't have it any other way. A classic.
That's becoming a humanoid classic at this point. He has been doing very well on this champion as well as of late.
What's this lane look like, guys?
I mean, so the idea between the well, I can't even speak.
Down the barrier for Hansama down as well. What is his focus going to be? Hans, wrap around here. Will spot Mickey, but perhaps too late. Oh, it's a perfect predict! He's living in his head! He doesn't even pay rent! Oh my God!
Mickey, that was sick! I mean, look! He played with Hansama for a good old while. He knows this man inside and out and just showed it right there.
We were too focused on math. We didn't think enough about reading proficiency, my man.
It's the psychology of the situation.
Psychology. That was an incredible start to the game. Excellent read from Mickey X, bringing life back into the audience as we have a rinse and repeat here in the mid lane. Caps, nice body slam actually gets him out. Slow coming in from the cast, but Razork happy to pick up the follow-up kill. And a disastrous start for G2.
I was surprised that Caps went in with the body slam. Like, Skumon maybe could have flashed over, but it looked like there wasn't communication there. Razork now in trouble, though.
Razork caught out, doesn't have the Aegis Assault still for another second. Ignite ticking. Lebrov still has that after the previous play. Aegis Assault there, and it's too late. Nice response kill from G2.
Nice roam from Lebrov. Wasn't really needed in bot lane, as Hansama was out, only making his way back, so you do get something back. But I thought Caps would in the mid lane. Like, I'm still waiting to see what value this blind Gragas was supposed to add.
And I imagine it does get easier. I assume it will be Roa first once you get that catalyst just to survive in lane, right? Because you highlighted Happy Hour, the cooldown got nerfed. Lane is upset now, a little bit less comfortable until his support arrives. And Skumon, while Zyro was the early prio and does have the kill, we haven't seen it do too much yet. Upset locked up, but Pantheon is here. Hansama finding out quickly where that spear can go. Lebrov running now for his life. The plant's not enough to dissuade the play here. And again, a situation where Fnatic finding the angles to make these ones happen. Humanoid on the way in just manages to find a little bit more damage as Mickey claims the kill.
The Ignite managing to tick over there and pick off Lebrov, but that's a little bit upsetting. If you're G2, you thought you were going to be able to turn that play around. They were kind of baiting Fnatic in, but didn't realize that Razork had level 6 and was already in the vicinity. Good turnaround from Fnatic.
Definitely was. Momentum continues to be in their favor. Broken Blade now trying to fire back, however. Q3, Otto doesn't quite have the Deathbringer stance back, so can't finish the kill. Frustrating for BB now. Flashless, and Razork is here. Decimating smash. Broken Blade, no ulti, no flash.
So much healing off the pot and the biscuits, though. It feels a bit doomed.
Unstoppable. Q charge, but will not connect. Razork there. Yeah, Broken Blade should just fall here. One more auto. Razork has flash as well. BB will try to get a kill back. Nice Umbral dash. Glides out, hits the Q3. Mickey's here as well. Fnatic feel like they're everywhere on the map. Mickey almost gets another one, but this time gives it over to Razork. And while Hansama is free hitting the bottom tower, Fnatic are getting kill after kill after kill. But now they want to make a play happen in the mid lane. LeBron looking for the fall. Humanoid flashing out. The Zenith Blade just can't hit. It hits his big old tail, but it's technically not a part of the hitbox.
No hitbox and no luck for G2. Mickey now standing in the mid lane to make sure that it'll all go smoothly now for Humanoid. G2 feel like they just can't get anything, although with Skumon coming, maybe they can.
Star called down. Mickey interrupting. Mickey very likely to die here. Looking for the hook out to safety, but everyone stepping up to body block. Pull back there. Damage coming through. Mickey will fall. Good response from G2 to at least get something back.
And desperately needed as well. 2 kills on the AD carry of Fnatic and the jungle. They needed something.
They had to go Gragas, but I'm ready to see what it can do in the fights.
See, if I hadn't seen it pick blind,
yeah,
I'd be like jumping into the, oh my god, it's this and this matchup in these positions. But now they're in a bad position.
Bob finds quick pick, forces the flash out from Mickey at the very least. Razork caught up, forced to use an early Aegis Assault, which means he's incredibly vulnerable. Ulti now coming from Mickey off to the side. They're trying to burn through Skumon as fast as they can. Hansama versus Upset. In the meantime, Lebrov running for the hills. He cannot finish off. The Cat's already found Razork. Body slam into the face of a dragon. He does not give a damn. The star's falling though. Oh, and he's spitting on fire. He's winning the freestyle battle. Humanoid double kill.
Humanoid got left to his lonesome on the top side against LeBron.
In this 1v1 matchup, but Sion just clears the waves so well that BB can't really mitigate the gold deficit that they're in.
I will say, the last time BB played Aatrox into Sion went pretty well. This time needs to go better.
World Ender, sidestep, Q through, Decimating Smash is there. There's just nowhere for him to go. Healing?
Heal!
Okay, not enough. Sundered Sky, that might have been a different story, but Broken Blade will go down, and this is the power of the semi-global of the Pantheon. Skewmon does respond. Will get, it looks like all 6 grubs, which is big for G2, but I don't know if it's going to matter.
Yeah, again, G2 trying to force the play here, thinking, okay, we've got control here for Hansama to move into position, but it just does not work out. Like, no real follow-up onto Razork at the back of the play. LeBron gets left as lonesome against Humanoid on the bottom side of the fight as well. Upset going toe-to-toe. Oh, hang on.
Mickey, backstep. Humanoid winning over the wall, but surely the Nautilus just dies here. 1 kill picked up. Knockup going to follow as well to stop Humanoid from chasing. The TP is there from Oscar.
And Upset's on the way.
A little bit too late. Body slam onto Upset. Slow there. Perfectly layered CC. The fall damage not quite there, though. He retreats back into his team. Cass knocking Upset back into the combo. That's what they were looking for, but they don't have the damage to finish it. Lebrov running. Hansama without an ult. And down goes Lebrov.
G2 constantly trying to force these plays.
Not done. Caps running. The skies descending. Nature itself stacked against
the burn.
him.
Blackfire torch.
Blackfire. There's no way Blackfire for Fnatic. As much as we, in moments where they've already had a good early game, want to look at the mid games where they've also done well. Fnatic, a team known to be overeager, known to falter. But rinsing and repeating is the name of the game right now as they try to find another bot side play. TP coming in from Caps. Broken Blade a lot more healing now that the Sundered Sky is there. So they'll protect the tower at the cost of the TP. Excuse me, the cost of the ultis, but they get Caps' TP out as well.
A lot of members of G2 in towards the mid lane and actually starting to roam down towards bot, so I don't think G2 have given up on this tower yet.
Broken Blade continuing to step up. Infernal Chains won't quite match. Caps taking down the tower. Broken Blade healing. Flash forward for Magic to get out of the Solar Flare. Angus assault there just in time. Q pulled back. Razor getting lower though. Ticking. Ignited. Still trying to find healing. He's got a Sundered Sky of his own and now he's scooting his boot out of there. Does not want anything to do with that fight. Will fall here in a moment. But gets a bit of healing back in the meantime. Shut down to Skewmon. Scrappy fight in the bottom lane. But Humanoid still just pushing away.
I never thought that Razork was going to kill BB on the back of that fight. I assumed that was going to be the kill, and you could even see Caps.
But, it gets pretty close in a lot of these fights and a lot of these moments where you can just heal so much back up. Especially those low thresholds. Broken Blade potentially caught out here. Brilliant Soul.
Riley's finished.
Good call. Rylai's is there. Additional slow going in. Flash forward from BB though. He wants to turn this back. Flash out from Humanoid in the meantime. Stranglethorns are there. Decent damage onto Broken Blade, but he's fine thus far. Powered spear shot. Not going to hit. In the meantime, Hansama's running for his life because he's caught in a 1v1 with a very angry Lumberjack who's going to hit the Q3. Lebrov is here too, but he's unstoppable. I don't even know if Locket's going to be enough. They call the power of the sun down upon him. But he's Hugh Jackman out there in the wilderness.
He's a Lumberjack. He's used to being in the sun.
This is what Monty Python wrote the song about. He's okay. He works all night, he sleeps all day, walks out of ganks, eats his lunch. I've never been impressed by Asana, but it does feel very impactful here. That said, he cannot fight 3 people in a Horde of Void Might, so he will give up the tower.
How dare you? 3 people can't fight him.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Razork will grab a Drake in the meantime, but G2, good look. They get the tower. They're now set up. Top Prio in control of this Herald. A nice way to try to get things back in their control as Caps now looking for an angle about side. Body slam. Flash laying down the cast. Good damage and a shutdown to close it out. Humanoid not respecting the Gragas E-Flash.
Didn't realize that G2 would even be making a play on the bottom side because everyone was seen on that top half of the map, but disrespects what Caps can do, and Caps shows him what it's worth. Immediately being able to pick up the shutdown. Plus the Grand Skyfall going to be coming through. You're starting to tick up towards those higher levels as well, where that's going to hurt, but they're trying to focus him now.
For the angle. Oh, Mickey spots him. The rest of the team is behind him though, so G2 don't want to overcommit, which makes sense. Skewmon on the way though. Mickey may be forced to flash out of the pit. Humanoid here as well. Body slam. Nice sidestep going in. Slow down. Knock back to the wall into Humanoid, but it just doesn't matter. Cap's now locked up in the meantime. Humanoid throwing down an ulti of his. The skies once again descending. LeBron taking out Fnatic, routing G2 in that instance, but Humanoid wants to keep chasing. This is a bit crazy, but Humanoid is nothing if not crazy. Hansama flashes in, ultis to get a kill back. Caps still standing, Skewmon running. Razork not taking any damage, courtesy of the Aegis Assault. Caps tries to make it the impossible possible, but it does not happen. Shutdown comes through, and Oscar just continues his assault in the mid lane.
Humanoid thought a dragon versus a pirate, and he liked those odds, but misjudged it a little bit. Still wins the fight for Fnatic, and with mid-tower and Adakan going across, plus that Leandri's Anguish now finished, I think Humanoid's going to be smiling all the way to the bank.
Going to be feeling good about that one. You said it, 3 items is terrifying dragon, and he's already, in that case it wasn't. The Gragas, big anti-synergy with these ults. It's a lazy point, you know what I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I think. But it does matter. If you're drafting a comp, it's all about putting people in a very tiny circle. You don't want a champ who's going to make that worse. Is now Sion just keeps running, but he will not find the connection. Still the ulti going in from Humanoid, an extra 15 stack. Strangle Thorns down, double knockup. Carries rooted. Razork trying to jump back in. Stop Broken Blade from getting on his backline, and he will be successful. 1 for 1, 2 for 1 overall in favor of Fnatic as Humanoid drops the cost of BB and LeBron's lives.
Yeah, there is so much CC for this Aatrox. It is.
It's on Caps. G2 have a bit of time before they pull the trigger. When will they go? They spot Broken Blade. Retreat now going in. They want to collapse on the flanker. All of Fnatic turning back. G2 trying to prioritize, trying to move in. Work with the space gained here. A bit of damage down onto Oscar. Ulti down for the Leona. TP coming in as well. Broken Blade regrouping for the full 5v5. Mickey managed to find the hook onto Caps. Knockup going into Hansama and onto Broken Blade. The damage is there, but Hansama is firing back. The Strangle Thorns combined with the MF Bolt. Is it going to be enough? Ulti back from Humanoid. Breathing light into G2. Fnatic holding on, Gatling gun, pushing in, looking for a few more rockets. Dashes into the midst of the fight, but might just give his life. Hansama taking out, he can't get the auto down. Skewmon burned by the Leandris, by the Black Fire, and the Dragon will go to Fnatic.
Oscar, I don't think you win this against Broken Blade. BB should be able to chop him down as he stands, although the rest of Fnatic, here comes the ultimate from Razork.
He doesn't have time to win it, and that's the problem, but he tries to style. It's just not enough. Humanoid puts him under the threshold. It just wasn't enough. Fnatic too powerful at this point of the game, now empowered by a Chemtech Soul. Razork was already feeling unkillable with just a Sundered Sky. It's not getting any easier.
And this is the thing, a lot of the champions that we look at on G2 side are Skewmon wants to be played into. Being able to have Humanoid attack from a very, very far range, especially now with the level 16 just being ticked over to, that ultimate is going to hurt. And G2 just can't really set up the fight in the manner that they want to.
No, they can't. So instead, they'll try to force something in the mid lane. Nice combo going in. Cast to knock back. Stun is there. Humanoid knows that he's been taken down. Excellent pick from G2 mid lane as Caps takes that one.
The bases get tatters though. Fnatic, they don't really care. They're just going to keep going. A reset from Razork though means that these 3 members of Fnatic
stepping behind. Still comes the Banshees. A little bit of extra damage. And you can see, even as they're retreating, the poke that they're laying down is so much to deal with. TP there. G2, if they can win this fight, they've got a chance to come back to this game. Caps, body slam forward, lays down the cask, a little bit of extra slow. Razork face first into the enemy team, trying to buy space for the rest of the lineup. Running now, knows that he's done for. Turns back onto Hansama though, bit of extra healing coming in. Not enough to keep him standing though. Aegis Assault won't come up in time. Shut down onto Razork. G2 weathering the storm of the Baron by being aggressive.
They will get 2 picks, but that top inhibitor falls down. I thought to make a rain from Hansama maybe had slowed Fnatic enough for Lebrov to close the distance, but it just wasn't quite.
You see the signs of greatness for G2, those angles that they managed to find with creative picks like this, but it's just a little bit too late in this game. And it's not balancing out what was a very rough early game, a very rough lane phase for a pick like this Gragas.
Yeah. And a loss here will put them at 3-3, sitting base in the middle of the pack with BDS, Movistar, MKOI. You still yet to play Heretics in there as well, playing tomorrow. Not exactly where G2 would have liked to have been. Well, a little bit over the halfway mark through spring.
And if we had just come off a split that they won, like they had every single split in 2024, we would give them that benefit of the doubt. So now you start to raise the question that's rarely... Hold that thought. Game going in. Mickey finding the engage. Humanoid ready to respond. Hasn't ulted quite yet. Perfect catch in the middle of the lane. G2's bot lane gone in the blink of an eye. Skewmon next. Caps and BB. All that stands between Fnatic and victory.
And I don't like Fnatic. Oh wait, TP behind?
TP behind.
Caps, he wanted the wave.
Clearing the wave. Alting, knocking back. Decent damage onto Upset, but he's just not taking it, but he manages to live. Is that enough time? 34 seconds, 29 seconds, there's no way. Surely Fnatic still end it.
Oscar can just tank it. Look at his items. He's not, like, he's probably going to heal off of this tower, to be perfectly honest. They don't need the wave. They've got an undead war machine at the front.
5 seconds to LeBron. Ulti there. Fnatic on the march to victory. They couldn't find it day one, but it looks like they will find it against G2. Broken Blade and LeBron, the last two left standing, but Broken Blade will fall. LeBron will fall. Hanzama is finally arrived, but it's just too late. A triple kill for the Pantheon. It looks like they want to feed him the Quadra, maybe even the Penta, but Upset won't let it happen. Fnatic in Madrid take down G2.
You're going to end up killing someone because the lockdown with just enough damage ticking over from Defy and the Rumble ult, plus potentially Kai'Sa with a killer instinct, means you are more than likely going to execute one of them now with Noah ticking over to 3 and the push back out. Actually, maybe they still want to go first.
Level 4 for Elyoya. Sneaking around in the shadows. 2 more seconds on that ball breaker cooldown. Starting to engage. Cleanse used, but it doesn't matter. The Shattering Strike, he still manages to connect. 4 stacks. Elyoya just zoning, walking off to the side. They already got first blood. He didn't even have to contribute. Now the knockback is there. Extra damage onto Jun. Flash forward from Alvaro. Mount up. He gets punted back under the tower. Jun will trade 1 for 1, but that support is not where you want the money.
This top side. Now it is obviously for White Grubs are up, but immediately able to contest Isma as well and sync up their pathing, because at this stage all he wants to do is prevent Isma from being able to interact with that top side of the map, and it's a good read from Elyoya.
But Jackie's is clean. Top side of the map, Alvaro getting a fight kicked off. Ball breaker in, a lot of damage down to Isma. They're going to immediately try to turn it back, but Isma's ticking. He can't get the final auto down onto Soup. It might not have mattered anyway. Empowered auto to build that advantage further. That said, Mirwen is about to be cyberbullying. There it is, Pantheon kicking things off. Finally, the buy gets invited, but it might be too late. We'll turn it into the 1 for 1. It's not bad for MKOI in terms of overall goal, but for Mirwen in that 1v1, it's definitely rough. Lower on the side of Mirwen. The Pantheon now returning to the top lane. If at first you succeed, do it again. Pantheon kicking things off. Mirwen now overheating, tries to get some damage back into the Aegis Assault. It does not matter. Isma this time grabbing the kill as MKOI will happily make a counterplay on the bottom side of the map to pick up the first Drake of the game. Hex Tech for them.
This kind of position that Giant X can play through with Isma.
Nice charm. Tower shot. Flashes over the flick. Has Malignance. How long on the ulti? Just a few seconds. Flash forward. Ulti coming in from Elyoya. Follow-up CC is there. Clean shutdown going in on the top side.
Big mistake from Jackie for Jojo though, so I think this is a bit of a bluff more so than anything else from MKOI to just trade it for the tier 1 tower top.
Yeah, they also don't really have mid. They're just now getting mid push. They didn't have bot push. There's no real way for them to walk in safely or to force a response from GX. Jojo happy to have this time on the top side. They did get 4 grubs, 3 on the first spawn, 1 on the second, so that little might making all the difference as Jojo will take his time, finish that tower, trying to deny as much CS as possible.
Yeah, now we'll be able to push this wave out, and Jojo stepped up huge for how little he had invested in items.
When the boomers say you can't buy a house because you bought a Starbucks, this is what they're talking about. Jojo, this is where all his money went. He bought pots and he bought wards. Today, none of that, Jojo. You gotta spend your money on yourself because those charms keep hitting. Alvaro with a quick ball. 4-man combo. The equalizer a little bit off, but it might not matter. Mirwen's starting to burn him down. Instantly, Super's into the back line. Does get sunned up with it, but he still manages to finish off Jackie's. Koi taking the fight overall, but Lot finally firing back. 2 down for Supa. Supa versus Noah, and Supa comes out on top. That's 3. Looking to make it 4. Wants to get 1 more. Shut down there, but at the end of the day, it's Jojo to finish the fight. MKOI turn to the Herald.
MKOI get the picks that they need. Jojo's charm for the crash down from Alvaro and the eruption from...
What happens when Gwen hits 3 items, Rob? It's still tough, right? Gwen with 3 items and exhaust, I just feel like it's hard to get away. Especially if Alvaro gets caught out. They descend upon him. GX, nice pick. Just that flank, waiting in the darkness, all of GX there. Quick trip on
mid lane, but it can easily save you. It wasn't the flash, but the ulti then in that situation. And now Supa opening up on mid wave.
Ready to return to the fight if he needs. This is, of course, the Herald that they were able to secure following the earlier fight, breaking open mid lane tower. Good to have that much more space, especially
Jojo's still waiting now, just about to get his ultimate back up as he used it to escape. And that's why MKOI feel comfortable to go for this play.
Will be Ruinous Otacon this time around. For now. Just the Dragon picked up. Chemtech over to the side of MKOI. GX. It's so nice because they can kind of dictate when and where the fights happen. You saw in the earlier fight, you mentioned it, that needlework burned super early for Lot because he's ready for the full-on engage. But one cooldown, one stray ball breaker doesn't mean that all of MKOI have to commit, have to follow on these exchanges. So while side lane pressure for GX is in favor of Lot at the very least, the rest of the map in favor of MKOI, is JoJo very easily going to be able to grab this standing gold, further extending that lead, further building his individual advantage over Jackie's, now going for a bit of a luxury defensive item in the form of the spell shield. But GX, quick to fire back, however, don't have much. Elyoya's ulti taken away, denied by Lot. Is Supa now going all in. Noah coming back where the feather's going to go. Exhaust down onto Elyoya. Grand Starfall going in the midst of the entire team. Though the flip back is good, the interrupt is good. Elyoya's still alive. Alvaro still standing. And Mir1 starting to burn them all down. 5 members of KOI. How are they all still alive? Double kill. JoJo Pune pitching for more. Coming around the corner. Jackie's wants to fire back. But blinking health bars. Jackie's. Noah. Who do you go for? You're not sticking on Ahri. You're not sticking on the Kai'Sa either, most likely. And apparently, even when she jumps face first into you, although that play was still a bit psycho.
But the thing is, Lot is not designed to be a one-shot carry right now, right? Yeah. Like, even with the build path you've gone, you're not going to immediately kill Supa. So you're fine to go for that because you're not going to get locked down. You got your team there.
Charm onto Jun. He doesn't have his ulti. He's probably just going to fall down here. That's one kill. JoJo dominating, now ready to go over the wall. Looking to follow up on Jackie's. Charm's not quite going to connect. It doesn't matter. Cleanse there out from Noah. Throws it sideways. Ball up is here. Jackie's about to get taken down. Reset now coming in for JoJo. You can dash forward. Movement speed comes in from the Foxfire, but he will not pursue any further. MKOI.
And then it's just JoJo. Take your pick of the litter. Chasing down Jackie's. Setting up on Elyoya to follow through. Supa there to finish off. It is just this constant actually having a carry performance. And now today, crucial with the charms.
Have they overstepped here a bit on the top side? TP now in for MKOI. I guess there is a fight here. It doesn't seem like there should have been, but JoJo TP'd in just in case, ready to cover his teammates. Isma now kicking things off. Wall there from Jackie's. Eyes on JoJo. 3 stacks now available. Noah with the feathers. Reddit set up to try and punish, but Alvaro somehow manages to weave between them. And now once again, it's JoJo over the wall. There's nowhere left for Jackie's to go. One more stack for JoJo. Lot gets one back in return. Goes golden. A slow motion finish as he watches his team fall in yet another fight.
Might just be a photo finish with that one. MKOI taking the lead so magnificently in that fight. Baron now to boot as well. How do you answer for that? Like, they're everywhere as MKOI.
Yeah, and the thing is earlier you were like, I love it. They're tempering their aggression. They know they have a big enough lead now. They are no longer tempering their aggression. They are TPing in on a single Elyoya
to lock him up, so he's just getting these massive plays in the back line with also then JoJo being able to follow up with him.
I mean, it's almost a 10k gold lead at 27 minutes.
Yeah, not bad.
I thought that this series might be different in terms of, but it's reminding me a lot of our first series. But even more dominant, that's the big thing. I think this is the most kind of convincing mid-game we've seen today. Maybe Fnatic game 2 was different, but it's close.
I'm very happy to continue passing the mantle of best team in our league between about 7 different teams in our league until we
honestly, yes. Thank you. For once in like 5 years, let it just be completely unclear who the best team is. Reminder, again, I know you're skeptical. You're saying, what G2 Fnatic play the first series? They both lost yesterday. Bad of a scene said, who do you think I am? Who do you think you are? I don't remember the exact words. It was also translated.
There was a lot of idiots and bleeped out words.
Yeah, there was a lot of bleeped out words too, but that energy, man, it's contagious, it's infectious, and for MKOI, it's only further enhanced by the level of aggression that they're showing on stage today in this game 1.
But I think it's also, again, like, oh, hang on.
Run! Starfall. Mir1 running, but that's a Swifties diff right there, baby.
And now they turn us, potentially Elyoya on the way, Supa on the way, but we're not quite able to connect to the Void Missile, but still, the Void Seeker, but still, it's the improvements from MKOI that make me excited about them. This slower pace, this,
Sidestep. Good movement from Noah, but doesn't stop the rest of the damage from connecting.
Very
even when the charm misses. And again, they played it this.
Bioshock is going to be caught in as it going.
We have to fight a Big Daddy before he gets to this one. JoJo Pune. Big damage onto Jun, the true damage from Ahri. Makes this pretty difficult for the Alistair.
True damage.
Yep. True that. JoJo Pune dashing in. Flick back not there. Madrid alive with the sounds of KOI fans. MKOI, though, don't have a wave. So the fans will have to wait a little bit longer for this
No,
game
that's
one win.
doing rounds around the stadium
You're right,
now.
sure. The wave has come all the way back to the Rift now. Jojo Pune going for the Charm Flash. Jackie's quick reaction, credit to him, but probably not enough to stop what feels like an inevitable finish. Mirwin also with the ulti. Can't just lay down the red carpet at any time, but taking his time with the poke.
Minion body blocking the charm, so Isma doesn't get hit by it, but obviously MKOI, I mean, 2 waves about to show up. First one gets cleared up by Noah, but the second one just going to be here shortly.
Jun looking for the engage. Flash headbutt pulled, certainly an option. MKOI don't want to flip it though.
So, in a minute's time. That's all they're playing for. Playing with their food, actually, to be honest, at this stage, because it kind of feels like they can do whatever they
Charm,
want to.
there it is again!
Oh, yeah.
You didn't see it, but Dagger looked away for 1 second, as did I. And in a blink of an eye, someone disappeared. JoJo's favorite magic trick. All of GX trying to hold the line now, but that pick was probably all they need with Noah taken out of the equation. In goes Alvaro, down goes the red carpet. Everyone on GX just cut to pieces. Lotto fire back. Isma will do his best, but game 1 from MKOI was a thing of beauty. Aggressive where it needed to be. They weathered the storm in their weakest part of the map. They came back swinging the mid-game. Nothing but dominance in this first game of the day.
I didn't realize that Jojo Pune was putting all that money yesterday into a 401k for today.
That man has
Because
got
11-0-8 that.
It's very burst.
Yeah, I also think it's very difficult if GX is ever first on the objective and you're walking into them. Well, your MF ultimate is pretty much used on that sign and Leona. You're not reaching that
These
back
seems
line.
though, because Giant X haven't really been able to lock anyone else in place for Isma to be able to follow up with those spears. And
flash forward from Jun, ignite down onto Elyoya. He'll once again twisted advance forward to try and block the follow-up. Jojo Pune in the area, flash forward going from Isma, quick Q to separate them, but now Jojo's gonna be in trouble. Isma ready to go back into cat forward if he needs to, doesn't quite have the cooldown for that first kill. Going over to GX, and finally they will be able to grab the objective here. MKOI overstaying.
a little messy, but because it breaks the beat. And she now gets solo XP is great, but Isma being invaded on here.
Hold that thought. Isma caught up for a brief moment. Comboed into the ulti. Supa here as well. It's a 3-man pylon, and down goes the cat.
MKOI responding well.
Okay, thank you, observers. So we'll grab this one uncontested and on the top side of the map. MKOI doing what they can to hold the line. Supa finally finishing the Bloodthirster does mean he can trade a bit more aggressively in some of these scrappier matchups.
MKOI might end up being in trouble here.
Nice forward step from Mirwin using the ult. He wants to turn back onto Jackie. Jackie's flashing away. Now waiting back into the arms of GX. Mirwin flashing out as well. Rocket jump, ignite, ticking, hops over the wall. And he'll be fine. Manages to escape. Whatever part Sion is on, effectively. The only lane where they can really reliably push out. Jackie's now grabs a tower on top. His 5th game, hits different. MKOI, 4-man dive. Jun here, trying to defend. Will ulti to isolate, but that's the ulti follow-up now coming in. Good route going in from Noah. Has caught out Alvaro, but he's still living. Everyone alive on the side of GX, and here comes the Sion! But they're gonna sidestep. They're gonna dance around it like it's the Matrix. Jojo's still in trouble though. Noah looks like he's gonna try to finish one. Flash, forward, decimating smash! Noah finding the kill. Isma hopping in and hopping right back out. They get one in the mid lane.
MKOI desperately wanted to try and play for Supa there, get the tower, get the kills, but they fumbled.
Just on it, it's exactly where you want it. The whistles are coming, the drums are there as well. GX march to war. The whistle makes it look goofy. I still love the energy.
It's not quite a kazoo, but
It's not, yeah. Not here to hate on the whistle, but the trumpet definitely hits a little diffy.
This Herald is about to hit hard though. Immediately into the bot side. They got Jojo pushing top. I don't think they want to take the fight. He's going to keep going.
Mirwin just to threaten. Jojo continues to push on his side lane. You're right, trying to balance the gold out, but GX with the power of the Herald going to push first. The response now, sending Loft back early. He can ult back to the wave, and he will. Jojo Pune, last second Valkyrie, just getting away from the hitbox
Oh,
barely.
TP behind him.
Now they're looking to chase. TP behind him. Right as he disappears, Noah on the way in. Jojo Pune, no cleanse, decimating smash into the ulti. Nowhere for the Corgi to go. Noah doesn't hit the auto, or doesn't hit the Q, but doesn't need to. The final auto to finish it. And now, there's a 900. That is going to make him that much harder to get away from. The active slow on top of the reduction to There's not a ton of crit yet. There'll only be more as we go further in this game, I'm sure of it. Lock up there from Jun, looking to get the party started. Excellent bomb coming from Italy. Jojo Bird ticking, but they will finally finish the kill. But now the lockup is going in from the bars. Ultimate, and it's Elyoya who's next to tree on the list. They get out of the way, but now it's Society who found himself deeper in the back line. Q back from Elyoya, and a quick retreat from MKOI, but Mirwin wants to make the difference. Ulting through, trying to get a bit of damage down. Gets locked up, gets knocked back, gets sent sky high by the decimating smash, and down he goes. GX taking everything in these fights.
What goes sky high goes 6 feet under when it comes back down. And that's green. And Lot runs in. Again, doesn't lose any health. And now
they just walk face first into him out of nowhere with the steel chair. Noah to finish the kill. It's feeling pretty impossible for him. And I think that last fight, you saw the play that Mirwin did. That was a very slim margin of success. The fact that he went for it anyway, I think shows us where MKOI's heads are at. They need to force and potentially overforce.
But I think we kind of said us coming into this.
The lock of Jackie's does at least get a chunk out. And this is one of the other things that we've looked at, is that the Maokai for us domestically has felt like this huge power pick, but it's so often because there isn't that reliable front line. With Jun and Lot so consistently in these fights, that ult that normally feels fight changing has just felt a bit useless. Now here it is again. Ulti from Mirwin, trying to find the angle, but he is rooted up and sniped down. That auto from Jackie's finishing the job.
Noah could TP back in as soon as he's up, though. It's kind of like okay, take a breather, take a bite of the orange, and now back into the fight again.
Yep, the false life there. Alvaro going in, gets hooked back. The sent back, what was he said, 6 feet under? That's 12 feet, and they're putting extra feet in that grave. Damn. That's what you expect. Quick reactions from Jackie's. Good acting as well as he steps forward before the wave, and now it's Jojo Kuda's in trouble. Jackie's is playing like a man possessed. Or a very, very rich man. In this case, he is both. But he hasn't even spent a lot of his money. That's only 2 items.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter. It's the kills, 3 going his direction. Now the Baron going over as well. Sometimes you just gotta hoard that money. Hold on to
Fair
it.
enough.
Put it into a college fund. Make sure it's all good. Yeah, they're the new #1 team.
They would,
by transitive properties,
prove themselves as the #1 team in this group of 4, which you never would guess as the ulti goes in. Supalo Alberti gets sniped out. The power of the sun of the palm of Leona's hands gets the job done. Noah flashing in. Another ult to follow. Another kill on the board as Jun takes another bloodthirsty support.
It happens so fast. Giant X just ruthless and pushing us forward. And call it 12 feet under, or call it our 12th game. Giant X are pushing us there as MKOI tried desperately to hold on.
Even with the power of a fountain besides him, Mirwin can't get an edge in this fight. He's taken down. GX fire back. That's right, baby. Game 3 in 4 out of 4. Best of 3s in Madrid, and we would not have it any other.
Probably level 6, to be honest, because that's when Seri gets that ultimate and can start to actually be a menace. But the biggest thing that comes when you're locking in this Blitzcrank is setting up for jungle attention. A lot of...
I believe both Team Heretics and BDS are 3 and 3. GX will be 3-4, so
I think we'll look to take that tower in the next push through as well. Noah trying to move down. Elyoya, I think, going to gate him from being able to move into this bottom lane. But there you go. Wave going to die. Lot not going to be able to save the turret. And it's that first turret going over to Movistar Quarter.
And this, I think, is such a good deal for Core. With the Caitlyn, you can argue that them having more grubs early would have been good, but even without grubs, it's lightning a lot off on the side, but will slice to the Herald and Dyson through the wall. MKOI now starting the objective. Now, finally, Supa sets up his trap line. Good patience there. Eyes on Jun. Eyes on the hook from the Blitzcrank. Once again, does not connect, and now the stars descend. Initially, Elyoya getting locked up for a brief moment is in. Now it's instantly Mirwin into the back line, but he just gets deleted in the blink of an eye. They turn right back with the power of the Victor ultimate. The traps do not matter, but it's Herald to the side of MKOI.
But now Giant X can move down towards Dragon, which is also there. The Predator immediately shreds the shield that he has in his W, so there's just no hope for Mirwin in preventing that, so he ends up falling. But Giant X, now on Dragon, haven't turned up quite quick, but should be able to get it still.
Is spotted out, but Elyoya does not want to risk the 50-50. Not worth to give his life. Jun. Look, Lot, 2 items, Black Cleaver, Spear, Shojin. Like to see it, no Sundered Sky, but
they need to start getting some poke and keeping Giant X honest as they look towards mid lane turret.
And you can see GX are a little bit frazzled. They don't really have the members around mid that they need to stop this tower from going down. They aren't ready to force the fight. Elyoya continues to fish. clone there to body block if a hook does come out, although Jun now on the chase. Once again, will not connect. Any of these hooks could be a game changer. TP behind. Isma going to find the ulti, but only the edge of it onto Supa as the ghost is there. Focus from MKOI back to the mid lane, getting mid prio, knowing they can force GX to respond, using the clone from Alvaro to keep vision, keep tabs on the enemy. Jun over the wall with the hook. Oh, barely not able to connect. Empowered ulti. There from Jojo.
Still though, Trap's going to keep them at least in a position where they're going to have to scoot their way past it, but Mirwin protecting one side of it, and now you got to take the long way around, which kind of puts everyone in front of MKOI again, which is perfect for how they want to try and set up. Giant X though don't want to give this soul over.
It's rough with where Otacon is too. The choke can be devastating for GX. Same is true for MKOI though if they overcommit. Lot, bit of poke down onto him. GX running forward past the objective. Ulti down from Jojo, connecting onto 2 instantly. And Mirwin in the blink of an eye, they delete the backline. The follow-up is there. It's beautifully orchestrated, a symphony of destruction as Madrid comes alive.
It is a crescendo for what has been a fantastic series, but it's Movistar Koi who are looking to come out on top. The Dragon Soul, the Otacon as well. Movistar Koi play it patient and it pays off.
That just heralding the end, Rob. MKOI on the cusp of being the kings of Spain. Jun taking out the blink of an eye. The reset down there for Jojo Pune. 1 more second and he can start to pursue Noah if he so chooses, but it's Mirwin in the backside. In the meantime, Jojo Pune going over the wall, ready to make the skies descend. The skies falling face first into Noah, and now the follow through from Alvaro. A thing of beauty again from the side of MKOI. Isma running, fire, breathe straight from the mouth of Jojo Pune. He finds himself stunned up, but there's just nothing for GX. There's no angle. There's no return attack.
Giant X will be the sacrifice to Odin on this night. As MKOI continue to push in onto the front line of Giant X, but still Jojo off in the wings. Ultimate up available soon. Won't be the Skies Descend, but still can do a lot of work. And I love how MKOI are playing this. It's just focus on the choke points. If you try and step through, it's into traps. It's into the ultimate from Jojo. You never get to touch the backline, and Alvaro gets so much value in controlling these chokes, so Giant X have to walk the whole way around now.
Elder Dragon here. Alvaro with another beautiful engage. Elder down in the blink of an eye. GX are going to disappear. Oh, the objective's already gone. GX running for their lives. Supa taking names in Madrid.
A triple kill for the Spanish AD carry. Mirwin will finish off one as well. Alvaro gave his life, but it's Movistar Koi that will take the game off of his sacrifice.
It's their event. It's their home turf. Only room for one king in Madrid, and MKOI are that king. Spanish royalty on this incredible stage in front of this crowd. MKOI stand victorious.